welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode number 47 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Bard gameplay series. I'm Commander Jarval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So nothing really on admin notes, other than it is raining here, so if while I'm speaking there is some background noise, let me know. I've upped my noise cancellation, so hopefully it doesn't come through, but should be going for most of the stream, but shouldn't be anything big. So on our recap, last week was an eventful episode. We had gone back and cleared out all of the Steel Watch Foundry. We had deactivated all of the Steel Watchers. We had gone back, we had talked to Mizora, and Will had made a new deal with Mizora to bring his father back. And we were back at camp discussing that, and that's where we're going to jump back in here today, because there's a big thing that we need to do right off the bat. Hey David, welcome. Okay, so here we are in camp. We had just had the cutscene with the conversation with Mizora, Will, and Duke Ravengard. So let's go ahead and talk to both of them, and we'll start with Duke Ravengard.
The devil's stench lingers, but Will is yet a champion of the people. I had hoped he'd join me on the council, but he is his own man. I couldn't be prouder. Hell's Floric. While the Absolute commanded my mind, I condemned her to death and confined her in Worm's Rock prison. She stood by me even as the Hell's fires lapped at my feet. You must free her. Tremendous news. She proves as loyal to you as she is to me. I couldn't bear it if she died by my command. May the Triad guide her steps. I was returning from Elturel. My traveling party stopped at an inn, Joaquin's Rest, to lay our heads. It wasn't the heat that woke me. It was the scent. Cultists had set fire to the place. I don't remember being taken. Just the smoke burning my throat before I fell. I awoke in Moonrise Towers, inside one of those damnable pods. The rest, well, the rest goes without saying. A complicated one. I went to greet Elturel's High Overseer, only for the Archdevil Zariel to drag the city into the Hells. I've been touched by Avernus, been a plaything for demons. A tale for other places, other days. Gods, can it be? The man who raised the city's walls became an Illithid.
You both know you owe your lives to me. I am not fallen. I am risen.
We must make this a secret we carry beyond the grave. No name is more sacred to the city than Balduran's. Not even mine. When people think his name or see his likeness, they must imagine a hero, not a horror.
How misguided you are.
Okay, and then we can have a chat with Mizora as well.
Ready and waiting.
Okay, so nothing to be said from Mizora. So we do have a quest marker here or rescue Orin's victim. Find Orin's next instructions.
Here we go.
Okay. So this is Orin letting us know that the Iron Throne has been broken. Fishermen will be finding morsels of gnome flesh to decorate the dishes for years to come. Actually, not so much, because we rescued everybody. But the bottom is from Orin, and without his mannequins, Gortash is weak. Kill him, kill him, kill him. So Orin definitely wants us to go through and make good on our deal here. So one last thing, probably want to talk to Will and see if there's anything else to be said here.
Let's talk.
Okay, so nothing here. There is probably a chance. We'll wait and see how this goes, whether or not there's going to be some dialogue interruptions with Will. We'll kind of see how this plays out. Let's go check conversations real quick, and then we can take our long rest.
So Will's the Blade of Avernus now. I suppose that's a new sort of frontier for him.
Okay, nothing new.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Okay, you can buy things from Volo, and there's going to be some decent spells in here. The Scroll of Disintegrate is very, very good. There's no saving throw for Disintegrate, so it can be really, really good as a fallback type of thing. So especially in Honor mode, your Scrolls of Disintegrate are really good, and Volo has a really good chance of being able to stock some of these more rare spells. So keep that in mind when he's in your camp. You do have an alternate way here of picking up some pretty powerful scrolls.
Do you feel that? The hells themselves tremble to face such a scourge as Will threatens to be. The Blade of Avernus, forged by a Cambion, whetted on a dragon's hide. Those devils won't know what's coming for them.
Okay, I can try and convince him here, but he's not going to be a permanent member of my party, so I don't think I need to right now. I haven't talked to the Owlbear Cub in a while.
Hello. You are not food. You are friend. Nice here. The caves smell like rotting meat. Goblin camp smells like goblins. Yes, fun. Ooh, more.
Will intends to take the fights to the very hells themselves? I can think of no one more capable.
Okay, so just a couple more over here and we should be finished. Don't expect there to be anything real serious in here.
So, the Blade of Frontiers is dead. Long live the Blade of Avernus. I just hope he stays focused on battling infernal forces. The undead have it hard enough already.
The Blade of Avernus. I suppose hell is just another frontier.
Okay, and Karlach's last.
The Blade of Avernus. I can't think of a better man than Will to take up the title. It's about time someone stood up to the evil fucks populating the hells.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take our long rest here. And when we wake up, we're going to make a change to our party. Okay. So let's head out here and talk to Karlach.
Copper for your thoughts? Looks like your troops all trooped up. You'll need to send someone packing if you want me to join. Now we're talking.
Alright, we're going to finish Karlach's level up. We're just going to keep her pure barbarian. There's going to be a couple of things we want to make since we are going to have a couple of feats available. So, the first thing that we want to do here is give her the Tavern Brawler feat. We're going to up her strength to 19 as part of that. And this is going to add her strength modifier to damage and attack rolls when she uses an improvised weapon or throws something. And that's going to be really important for what we're going to be doing here in a minute. Yeah, level 9 for Barbarian, you get Brutal Critical. So this is, you then roll an additional damage die. Instead of 1, you're rolling 2. It's the same type of ability that half-orcs get. We get Intimidating Presence, which is nice. It gives fear against an enemy, and you can use an action to maintain it and prolong that every time. It's not something that's going to be incredibly useful the way that we fight, because we don't need it, but trying to gain advantage against other targets, it can be useful, especially the higher end enemies. #11, you get Relentless Rage. So this is your death ward, basically. As soon as you're reduced to 0, you pop back up to 1 hit point instead of being downed. And at Barbarian level 12, we're going to gain an additional rage charge. We gain our last feat, and our ability improvement is going to up our dexterity to give us +2 and a strength of 20. Now we're going to go through Karlach real quick here because we want to make some changes in how she is set up. So the first thing is we're going to have her equip Nyrona. We won't need any of these items. Okay, and then off of Shadowheart, we're going to do a couple of things. Because remember, throwing Nyrona does thunder damage, but just attacking with it also does thunder damage. So we're going to get the Gloves of Belligerent Skies, so we can add reverberation whenever we inflict thunder damage. It's going to add a condition, so it's also going to add in more stacks of reverberation on top of that. The cloak here keeps us safer against attacks by characters that are being hit by reverberation. And then as far as the rest of this goes, the Ring of Free Action is very useful in what we're about to get into. And then I want to go through... I should have the Iron Banded Shield. That's going to up her armor class to 18. Make her somewhat harder to hit. She has the Mighty Cloth right now, which is upping her strength to 20, but since we already have it up there, we no longer need to use that. And we can instead use something that is medium armor based, since we have a +2 to our dex. And it's going to be medium armor based. I already know which one I want to use, but I want to look through these really quick and just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So that's going to up her armor class to 20. Just standing, she now has an armor class of 20, which is going to be more than enough for her. As far as her amulet goes, there's not a whole lot that I have here that I want to utilize for her. Hey, Mark, welcome. But I do know one that I would like to have, but I think it might be in use already. I don't have any amulets sitting in this other chest, do I? No, I don't. Okay, and then... I can't remember if I got her branded way back when or not. Sorry, I'm just looking through my inventory here real quick for something to see if I still have it around. I don't think I do. I think it's already being used. Okay. Doesn't really matter. I just want her basically equipped for what we're going in. We need to have her along with us for what we're about to do, though. That's the important thing.
Breathe deep
so
and move.
Now we're going to go over here. We're going to talk to Zenith.
I should speak up.
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt.
Hey, I'm going to have him join and just temporarily replace Will.
This so
have him move out here. And
shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
And I need to make sure of my placement here that I'm getting both Kurz and Karlach. They're the two farthest out on each end here. I'm getting Will, who's going to be invited back into my party, as well as Shadowheart, so that's a good place to cast it. Okay, so everybody's going to get thoroughly stuffed.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
I can go talk to Will and bring him
Just
back.
what I need.
Let's talk. Sorry, but there's no room. I like how you think.
Okay, so now we're going to leave camp here. Actually, there is one more thing that I forgot there. Breakthroat Glaive needs to temporarily move over here. Okay, and yeah, this is what happens sometimes. Will's gonna probably have that conversation icon over his head for a while, if not the remainder of the game.
Let's talk.
There's no conversation options here for him, but I think as a result of the strange order in which we've done things here, his conversation cues are probably a little bit broken. That's just purely a guess on my part. So slightly annoying, but it's nothing that I'm too worried about. And then Kurz needs to make sure that he has the spear equipped.
Can't give up now.
Okay, and now we can go back to our 26 armor class. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. So here on this side, remember now we need to get back into Worm's Rock Fortress. We are going after Gortash again. So this side, the bridge is down.
On my way.
The Steel Watchers are all non-functional. But as we move up here, you can see they're outlined in red. All of the Flaming Fist inside Worm's Rock Fortress are hostile. Now, a little bit of role-playing here. In my opinion, the Fist really didn't do anything. They are serving as a police force, and they always have served as a police force for Baldur's Gate. They're just taking orders from the wrong person, basically, in my opinion. So, I don't necessarily, just from a role-playing perspective, want to go through and kill everybody inside of Worm's Rock Fortress. And we don't have to, because after the events that we've gone through, Gortash is no longer in the Coronation Chamber. He is upstairs in his in his chambers, where we went up and cleared out everything earlier. Okay, so we don't need to work our way through Worm's Rock Fortress here. We can just head to the South Span. And we'll make our way back toward this side of Worm's Rock Fortress. Now, as we saw before, the bridge is going to be up on this side, but we talked about it previously. There are multiple ways to get into Worm's Rock Fortress again, and one of them is just down here. The Flaming Fist out here at the gate are not hostile, only the ones inside of Worm's Rock Fortress. Where are y'all at? Okay, there we are. So once everybody gets here, I'm going to cast Featherfall.
My old fishing. Spent more than a few summertide days.
Everybody who can fly is going to fly down here. Everybody who can't
Only
is
a
just
few
going to
head
jump down
colds,
here, and they're all still
and the
safe.
tongue lashing from my worried father.
So now I can make my way back in the way that I went up to the roof previously. And that's over here up this ladder. Okay, now we are again in a red bordered area. You can see we're getting some red icons that have popped up on our map, but they're above us. Who's still down there? Will?
A hero at heart.
Still breathing. despite everything.
Okay, now inside of here, you don't have to worry about anybody patrolling anymore. We make our way up here.
Mind my step.
You can see there are hostiles inside of the room here. All of the Steel Watchers are dead. All of the Patriarchs are dead. And we have patrolling Black Gauntlets out here. Now, these are not Flaming Fist. Okay? These are Bay Knights. And we don't have any problem going after Bay Knights. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for combat in here. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to approach this combat, but at the end of the day, it's really not going to be all that difficult because we don't have to deal with all of the Steel Watchers. I think there are 6 Steel Watchers in here. 2, 5. I think there's another one that is over on this side. So I think there are 6 Steel Watchers. So if you come in here without having dealt with the Steel Watch Foundry, this fight can get significantly more difficult. But for now, it's not that big a deal for us. So let's go ahead and just watch the patrol pattern here of the one on this side, and we'll make our way in here. Okay, as soon as he comes back, turn around. Okay, and we'll go into turn-based mode here. Okay, now that is going to guarantee us a surprise round here, which is good. Oh, he's dropped a concussion grenade here. Interesting. We'll just drop that there. And we're going to move back here toward these iron consoles.
Can't slow down.
Okay, and yeah, there are traps laid around here. I've forgotten about that. So we're going to fight in darkness here. But for now, I just want to start off with a shriek. Ah, the traps. Yes. We can deal with those. That's easy. Okay, so we'll...
Every step counts.
Because I'm going to fight back in here. I'm not going to fight this far up. I just want to get out here enough. And look at all those damage numbers. So yeah, there's a lot of damage numbers there. That did 87 hit points for him in one attack. And I could quicken this again with my bonus action and finish him off, but there's just really no need to at all.
Breathe deep and move.
Okay, and I'm not worried about the incineration caster here. But I can kill it.
Fall by my hand.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay.
What now?
And
Soldier.
now...
Turn down the fire.
Bringing Karlach in here. That's what I forgot. I forgot the Eversight ring. I knew there was something that I was missing when I was looking for my rings, and that's what it was. So once you walk in there and she gets the condition, then it's going to drop her into combat. I'll just leave her there for now.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
Okay. So that caused the concussion to go off, and you can see how much damage it did. So I'm going to stay away from these things here as I do it. And as part of that, you'll kind of see how this plays out.
Soldier.
Don't know if I'll be able to get an angle here or not. No, I won't. So let's just get rid of it.
No choice but to keep going.
Okay, so that will get rid of that. And now we should be able to fight in my darkness free and clear.
On the victor's path. 2 steps at a time.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Now again, the Aura of Terror for us does nothing, because we all have immunity to being frightened. So that's why having the thoroughly stuffed buff before you go into these fights is so useful.
This is my time.
Okay, there's a crit on a 15. Like I say, you like to see that. Okay, and now here with Karlach.
Heading out.
Okay, and we're going to throw Nyrolna, and I must not be far enough out. Sure. Yes.
That's it.
Okay, it normally takes a minute for it to come back, so just wait it out.
Still on my feet.
Aww. What's he got? 2 hit points left. Okay, now they're all in the Shriek, so they're all going to take additional thunder damage from any attacks that I make as well. So we probably can kill him here with this. Oh, and I missed, of course.
Battle favors the fearless.
Wow, just can't seem to get rid of him. I'm actually gonna... No, I won't. I need that for upstairs.
Aye, aye. Want to do it?
Give it a second to come back. That might be too close. Even with reckless attack, I missed. Okay, I'm going to provoke the attack of opportunity.
Survival is all that matters.
There we go. And that's the great thing about darkness, is that they are just going to sit there because they don't want to move into the darkness again.
And away I go.
Actually, let's move out here. Get him into Shriek. Make sure of that kill.
Forever dauntless.
Easy peasy.
I've got a long road ahead.
Never a dull moment.
Okay. And let me see. So, yeah, Karlach is with us here. So now we can search all of them. If you're short on money, this is definitely the place that you want to come to pick up stuff, because bodyguards Everybody like that is all going to have some stuff on them. So here you're going to see, we've seen the Infernal Mace. This is the Infernal Spear, basically a spear that does the same thing. It adds poison damage. The attendants normally have a few things. But yeah, just go through here and start searching everybody and pick everything up. Got that one.
Let's ride.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that you'll be able to, if you really want to make all the money you can, that you can steal all of this stuff in here. Okay, the bodyguards you definitely want to pay attention to. For the most part, they're going to have some armor and or weapons on them. Some of them don't, but most of them do. There's another shield +1. Always nice to have another one of those. Okay. So now we can continue making our way up to the roof. And remember, for this, need to climb up our homemade steps. And make our way up here. Now, the icons that are red up here, you don't have to worry about. They're all inside.
Stayed interesting. With haste.
So you're not going to be seen.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
So we'll just make our way up to the top here and we'll be all grouped back up and ready to go.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Yeah, Lord Henry, it's a good time. It's a good time to see her back. She needs to be here. Well, she doesn't need to be here, but it makes sense that she's here for the culmination of this, because this is the culmination of her personal quest line. So you definitely want to have her along for this. Now you can see the aftermath of everything that we had been doing up here. So I want to stop everybody back here a little bit. I'm going to ungroup the party and make my way over here. The reason for it is that some of the detection cones with these windows and doors can get a little weird. I'm not expecting for it to be a problem, but I just don't want to take a chance. Now remember, we've cleared out all of the traps in here. Okay. So we're going to come right up to the edge of the detection cone here and survey what we've got. So we do have some iron consoles. We have a couple of black gauntlets. So 2 iron consoles, 2 black gauntlets, and the man himself. Now, Gortash, when you examine him, he has some interesting features, but none of them are really impressive for us. Some of them come from the weapon that he's carrying, and that includes things like scintillating, and that from his boots. He has some attacks that go along with his heavy crossbow that, if he lands them, can be pretty devastating. Dauntless and Authority come from his robes, but these are all advantage on checks and charisma stuff and things like that, except for Dauntless, which means you can't be frightened. But for the most part, there's nothing here seriously that keeps us from dealing with him. He's resistant to thunder damage. And he has a gauntlet that gives him +1 bonus to spell save DC, and then his unarmed attacks dealing 1d4 force damage. He will never do any unarmed attacks here, so it's not that big a deal. He has Dark Devotion, so again, he has advantage against being charmed and that sort of stuff, but overall, he's not really that difficult an enemy to fight, especially if you can neutralize the main way in which he fights, which is by using his crossbow. And you can't shoot crossbows into darkness. Okay, so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to reapply Hex here. Okay.
Softer than a whisper.
So it did apply it. Let's... Okay, so that was a bit strange. Attacking him directly, I've seen that before, where it's somewhat interesting whether or not it triggers a reaction from him or not. So you're not guaranteed to get a surprise round out of him, just because, again, as you saw, he has some weird reactions to being attacked. But now you can see all of the remnants of the traps. They would all be active now. And those traps would be trying to damage you, the ones that are around here, but they would also be giving him certain buffs. And now none of those traps are able to trigger because we cleared them all out previously. If you don't have the Steam achievement for killing Gortash without triggering any of his traps, this is an easy way to get it. Because none of these traps are now available to trigger, so you don't have to worry about it. As soon as you kill him, you're going to get the achievement. It's definitely going to proc. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our way out of here. Okay, and I want to get as far away as I can.
This city is mine.
So he's got grenades that give you this Reflecto Guard ability. And again, Aura of Terror we absolutely do not care about. Okay. So we have a couple of different options here on how we want to approach this fight. If you look at it, Reflecto Guard here is active for one more turn only, though. This is any projectile that's fired at the character is sent back to where it came from. So it's basically a reflection against any ranged attacks that you shoot at him. Now, it does not counter things like Firebolt and stuff like that, but it does work against all physical ranged attacks. But we're going to let that run out. And we're going to let that run out by basically just going around the corner over here. And waiting for them to come to me. I believe he's got one more that he's going to throw. Yes. But again, it's going to run out one turn after this. So there's no need to fight them while they have any of that going on. Just let it run itself out. Okay, now they're grouping up really, really nicely here, which is what I like to see. So I'm going to, again, just move around the corner here. Get out of line of sight, but don't get too far away.
From your ashes, Baldur's Gate will be reborn.
And you want to get everybody turned the corner and facing to the right. That's the goal here. Okay. Now my turn again. And now we're going to bring the cavalry in here.
Well. I'm too tall for this.
Nice and quiet.
I'm actually going to start this off.
Never wanted the easy path.
With curs if I can. This one might be in an unfortunate spot, but I can probably get in behind. No, because as soon as no, he will not get the condition, so it should not enter him into combat to get in here. But we'll see if it does or not. Enemy conditions are a little strange. The Aura of Terror is not going to be affected by it, but it might drop him into combat anyway. No, it does not. He's immune to it, so he does not get the condition, so that does not drop him into combat. The reason that I wanted to get him in that position was so that I can use his... I can try, because of the stupid not shooting through doors thing. Oh, this bugs the living crap out of me. Okay. Hopefully, he's going to have disadvantage on this attack, but hopefully we can hit one of these three. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then, actually, I didn't want Karlach to be brought into that, but that was unfortunate placement on my part.
Careful.
Time to push my luck again.
So let's come back out here. What happened there? Okay. And we're going to drop darkness. We're going to remove our hex and drop our darkness right here. Okay. And now Will can make his way in here without any problems at all. Okay, now we do have a couple of people who are exposed out here due to, like I say, with Karlach, an unfortunate placement. So I'm going to drop a temporary darkness on top of them, just so that they can be protected against what's coming. Now Gortash is going to want to move out of the darkness. That's perfectly fine for us. Ooh. What happened there? You're absolutely kidding me with that. The mines that I disabled a long time ago for some reason suddenly popped back into into being. That's so stupid. Because you can't even target them. It's just so dumb. It shouldn't even have happened. Oh, that's horrible.
All right, Karlach, it's go time. Moving. One, two.
Wait for it to come back.
This is my time. Where do I go from here?
Okay, now I want Kurz in here. Yes.
Can't slow down.
A 91%er. See if I can finish him off with the clout. Perfect. Oh, jeez.
Forever dauntless.
Left. Ooh, 2 1s in a row. Am I getting a disadvantage roll for blinded? That's very strange. Okay, so Tyrant's Binding is a force damage spell. He doesn't cast this very often, but it does do a lot of force damage, and it halves your movement speed, which isn't really all that important for us in what we're doing here. I'm going to try and counterspell it, but it didn't matter. We saved against it. Okay, so yeah, Kurz did not save against it. Okay, that broke his concentration. That was the main thing that we were trying to do there, obviously.
No time to waste.
Heating up.
So that's going to give me advantage on all of my attacks here against him. Now I can move myself back into the darkness.
Can't even catch my breath. Hope your soul is in good hands.
Wow. Just so many misses. I love Sentinel. And that's the great thing about knocking him prone,
Smell blood.
is that he takes his entire turn just to stand up.
Go on.
So all of that stacking reverberation there.
Need to learn the hard way.
And then get right back in the darkness.
Victor's path.
Actually move out here temporarily. Let's do some cleanup work here. Okay, good.
Time to push my luck again.
Don't want him to move all that way out there.
These boots have seen everything.
Aw. Why are you able to hit me so well? Okay, so here's Polearm Master. I get a full attack when they come within range. Path is interrupted by that guy. Okay, so rinse and repeat.
Let's go.
Let's move Kurz back
so
out
much
of the
for peace.
way.
find a route. My little trick.
Perfect.
Ready for this?
And hopefully Karlach can get the kill here. That's very fitting.
Let's get going.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Okay, so let's talk to Karlach now.
It's finished. It's done. I need to see him up close. I need to know he's dead.
Yes, you're right, Lord Henry. It's so invaluable because prone prevents them from taking reactions as well. So not being able to throw in legendary actions when something is prone is incredibly useful in honor mode. That's why you're going to see Karlach come into play a lot in the first part of the honor mode stream on Saturday. You're going to see a respec of her on Saturday, and you're going to see how we hopefully utilize her in some of those situations coming up. So, little spoiler alert there.
Hey-ho.
So we'll take Karlach over and go click on Gortash.
So Gortash is nothing more than a pile of flesh? Same as the rest of us. I don't feel like I've won. All I feel is tired. Is that it then? Killed the bastard who ruined my life, and now I crawl into a corner and die? Am I fucking missing something? I'm beyond overwhelmed. I'm finished. He's dead. And he's no fucking sorrier now than he was before. What was the point? I'm still dying. I'm dying. I'm going to die. Don't say that. Say you found some way to fix me. That now Gortash is dead, I'll get my heart back. My heart. It was mine. And they took it. I'm going to be as dead as Gortash any day now. Any moment. And what then? Off to the City of Judgment to waste into oblivion? Into the dirt to get eaten by maggots? Is that it for me? Is that fucking all? And you'll just keep going, won't you? Watching the stars, warming your hands on the campfire, dancing, eating, making fucking love all night. All of it, all of it! That's my reward for everything I suffered. That's why I survived 10 years of torment. The fighting, the clawing, the loneliness, the fucking loneliness. All of it so I could rot. Because the person I trusted the most gave me away to the devil. It isn't fair. I don't want it like this. You could try. You got a wish spell in that pack of yours. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Let's get out of here. I've always hated this place. Stupid fucking gigantic bridge or whatever. I think I need to go to camp for a while. Be alone. Scream at the sky. You can come and find me later if you want to. Thanks for listening. For existing. Love you.
Now, Karlach is going to leave your party. That's a temporary thing. Happens every time after that cutscene. I will say that Samantha Bayart, who is the voice actor for Karlach, that was a great portrayal there. Obviously, the end of Karlach's personal quest line, a very deeply emotional end to it, considering the betrayal that Karlach has been through, and Samantha did a great job in portraying that. So, I mean, Samantha's done a great job through all of Karlach's voice acting, but this was obviously the culmination of all of that. And speaking of that, we have completed Karlach's questline. So we've now completed 2 of the quest lines, Will's and Karlach's. And as we go on, we'll be completing more of them. So Gortash is dead. Orin will surely have left another note for us at camp. And we need to take Gortash's nether stone, and we are certainly going to do that. So here we have a few things. His Cloth of Authority, we saw a little bit of the effects of that before. You can't be frightened. You can't be afflicted by other emotion-altering conditions, so like being charmed, being maddened. That is an important part of it. And things like that, you're just immune to it. You also have advantage on intimidation checks and insight checks. And your armor class now for wearing clothing on this is upped by 1. So it can be very useful, but it's really more of a support type of item. So yeah, I was going to say it's a level 9. Wish is a level 9 spell. Well, it used to be. I haven't actually looked at it in a long time to see if it's still level 9. But yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, Lord Henry, because that is definitely a thing in D&D. You get his fabricated arbalest, and this is where the illumination thing was coming from as well, because it's a heavy crossbow. The psychic damage is coming from something else because I'm concentrating on a spell right now, so that's not part of it. It's a +2 weapon. It comes with illuminating shot, so once as a bonus action, and this is not per long rest or per short rest, this is just every time you want to use it. As a bonus action, you can fire an illuminating shot. It's going to fire a bolt that inflicts 1 turn of radiating orb on the target. So again, radiating orb is a condition. So if you have other things that are proccing on inflicting a condition, the fabricated arbalest can do it as a bonus action. And that can be really useful because now you can use melee attacks, your high damage attacks against targets, but before you do that, you can be out of range and use your bonus action to inflict radiating orb on them and all of the proc on condition things that go along with it before you move into melee range for your standard attacks. So one of the few things where you can utilize your bonus action to inflict range damage and a condition, as opposed to dual wielding a ranged weapon or something like that. Here you can get full damage actions out of both ranged and melee, and then if you want to use a bonus action for ranged, you certainly can. It also comes with Dazzling Ray, and this is something that's once per short rest. So it's like the Blood of Lathander Sunbeam spell that you can cast once per short rest that goes out in a ray out in front of it, and it's going to cause 2d10 radiant damage and blinds all creatures in its path. And then until that spell ends, which is 10 turns, you can continue to cast it over and over and over again, like some of the others, you know, like Call Lightning and things like that, and continue to cast it. However, you may possibly get set on fire each time you recast it. That's not necessarily a bad thing for certain characters, especially for your heat builds, where getting hit by fire damage is going to give you turns of heat, which you can use with heat convergence to deal additional damage. So this is actually a really good weapon on your melee-based fighters and barbarians, specifically Karlach, because she's innately resistant to fire damage, to be able to take that burning condition and utilize it to get extra damage from a heat-based build. So I've seen a couple of things built around this which on YouTube, which are actually really kind of nice. Tyrannical jack boots are again a support item. However, they are a pair of boots that give you a +1 bonus to charisma checks and saving throws. So if you're going into particularly difficult persuasion, intimidation, or deception options, there is a straight +1 that you can get by adding a pair of boots, which you don't ever find in the game. And last is his Netherstone studded gauntlet. His Netherstone is obviously embedded in the back of the gauntlet here. Your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1d4 force damage. This is the last in a set of gauntlets that, for the monk class, are able to deal different types of elemental damage. We already have one that does force damage in the game. However, this one also comes with another bonus if you want to keep that, and that is you gain +1 bonus to spell save DC. That's not in and of itself for a monk-based build all that great. However, the thing that applies to is the fact that you can use this to cast command once per long rest. Command is a great spell, especially in honor mode. Being able to command a target to grovel and things like that, where they are going to miss their turn and not be able to take actions or reactions. Again, just like we talked about with prone, helps you avoid legendary actions. Gaining the +1 to spell save DC means that it makes it 5% more likely to land on specific targets. So can be, again, very useful. There's a key in here. This key unlocks these things that we've already lockpicked in the back, the chests and the wall safe. There's also phase optimizers. These are incredibly annoying if you haven't already cleared this out. He will throw these just like he will the reflecto shield things to steel watchers, and this gives them haste basically. Their movement speed doesn't increase, but they have huge movement speed anyway. It gains them additional action, and that really sucks in dealing with the steel watchers. So being able to clear this place out is really, really nice. And last, there is a note here. So, Lord Gortash, yes, if necessary, I could get you back into the House of Hope. Though I doubt they'd be happy to see you again. You didn't leave on the best of terms. H at the Devil's Fee. We've learned about Helsik before at the Devil's Fee, and this lets you know again that Helsik has a way to get into the House of Hope, which we are certainly going to be utilizing. And that's going to update that quest.
Howling like a great wind through a canyon. It engulfs your mind, drowns your senses. Above the hell rises a screech, gleeful and maniacal. It is the way and the truth. Absolute.
Leave them alone.
The screech quiets, the howl fades. Your mind is hollow, save one lone voice.
Bane's chosen has fallen. His netherstone is yours. You have done well. The Elder Brain is regaining its autonomy. It cries not from pain, but exaltation. We must stop it before it breaks free. One netherstone remains. Orin's. We must find her and take it from her. After that, we take control of the brain. And you should start wondering what you will do then. Sometimes you surprise me with your wisdom.
Okay, and you're going to get 3 new items there. Those 3 items are 1, Gortash's hand. This is marked as a quest item for a very specific reason that we are going to learn more about a little bit later. The other item you're going to get is Gortash's Netherstone. This is now separated out from the gauntlet, and the gauntlet has become the Gauntlet of the Tyrant, and this is the 3rd item that you get. So it basically took the Netherstone studded gauntlet and replaced it with the Gauntlet of the Tyrant, which has all the same abilities, and Gortash's Netherstone. So those are the 3 items that you get. We're going to keep Gortash's hand around. We're not going to use it for a while, but I don't want to forget about it with it being in my inventory. So we're gonna keep it around for now, but we won't be dealing with it for a while. Okay, and now the other thing that you notice is that we no longer have a red border around our mini-map up here. And that's because this whole area is no longer a restricted area for us. We're going to go and loot as much of this stuff up here as we can. Okay, so we can't loot that. And I think that's it. Everything else was looted previously. So, do we have any trash bags on us? We do. I don't know if I'll be able to move it here. I can. Okay, so all of this is trash. Now, let's see if I can move this directly into there. I can't. So we will send that off to camp now and move this back onto Kurz, and that should get everybody down. Yes, it does.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
So
times.
now from here, we are free to make our way out of here, and we can just fast travel out. Again, we had previously looted everything in here, so we don't have to worry about it. Now, the rest of Worms Rock Fortress. So, have I been... Oh,
find a way forward.
Yeah, no, I haven't. And I also want to check something else.
Let's see.
While I'm here. Okay, because this is the passageway that leads me back down. And I honestly can't remember if this passageway leads me back down to the Coronation Chamber or back down to where the waypoint is. To inside Worms Rock Fortress. Because I honestly haven't checked to see if Worm's Rock Fortress is still hostile towards me or not. So, and I can't remember how to get up there. It's been too long since I've been... up there. Can I fly up over here? I can't remember. Let me head over here. Okay.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Okay, so there are a couple of traps still up here.
With a flick of
Actually,
the
I
wrist.
might not even need to... Let me check that door first. Okay. Okay, so let's go knock the lever down over here, and this is going to drop this ladder down. And now everybody has a way back up here.
Let's have a look.
Can't give up now. Should mind my step.
What to do?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
And we'll go looking around up here. There are several things that you can loot up here.
Path lies before me.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
And I need this.
Don't give me trouble now.
Okay, a couple of arrows in here.
These boots have
Always
seen
nice to
everything.
have, and there's another heavy chest back here. So this just gives you some more information about the preparations for the defense of Worm's Rock Fortress, and Blaze Ellen spends much of her day personally reviewing admissions at the Southbridge checkpoint rather than attending to the more tedious tasks of Flaming Fist administration. We met Flame Ellen outside previously at the gate. We had to talk our way past her. Okay, sorry, my one of my cats is pawing at the screen here. He sees the mouse moving. And there's a heavy chest up here. That's going to have some decent arrows in it. Obviously up here with ballistas and a trebuchet, which is what this is. You would expect to find some decent arrows up here. So this table isn't able to be interacted with, unlike the table that's in the foundry. Our first nat 20. Okay. I'll take that. I wonder why that was sitting there. I don't remember placing it. All of the ballist cultists are going to have the murderous cut. This is, the weapon deals an additional 1d4 piercing damage against targets with 50% of their hit points or fewer. There's an interesting interaction with this that I just actually saw on a YouTube video, which makes it kind of interesting. And here you can see what's happened, is that Orin sent these assassins to try and kill Gortash. Unfortunately, they ran into the Steel Watcher that was up here that we killed previously. He actually jumped down here previously, but they ran into the Steel Watcher and came to a grisly end up here. But they do have a flash blinder on them. If you weren't able to pick one up previously, this is a place to pick one up. We already saw how incredibly useful those things were. I think there's a thieves' tools. Yes, there is.
That'll fit in my pack.
And arrow mini targets. Nice. Always like those. Let's go offload just a couple of things here. I don't think there's anything inside the tent here. Nope. So thank you for reminding me of that, Lord Henry. I always forget that it's up here. And it's been so long since I've been up here. It's in my personal playthrough. It was the last time I was up here, so haven't even really dealt with it since then. Okay, so looking at our quest journal, we've obtained Gortash's Netherstone. This let us know that there's a ritual in the Devil's Fee that can open a portal to the House of Hope, and we need to head there to retrieve the Orphic Hammer. That is part of the Help Kithrak Voss and Free Orpheus quest, as well as the deal with the devil. We need to get into the House of Hope to be able to advance all three of those. So now here I'm going to head to the South Span again.
Every substance has been tried and tested by yours truly.
What does it feel like? What I
Let's go to Karlach's. He has the most fabulous scent.
We're going to make our way back to Danthalon's here just so we can offload some of this inventory that we've got.
What's up for discussion?
What do you need?
Okay, so we are at a minus 150%, which is the highest that we can get. We don't need any of the phase optimizers anymore. They're not going to be useful for anything. I know we did pick up some random +1 weapons in here, so I want to go through and look at those. We're not going to be utilizing the murderous cuts. We'll keep one around. But we won't be utilizing them for any of my builds that I have. And he still has a good amount of gold left, and he's gonna need it, because this is actually probably gonna put us real close to his limit. Yep. $16. He doesn't see if he has anything that we want to purchase down here. An elixir of viciousness we definitely want. Potion of speed we'll take. Don't need another arrow. There is the possibility of combat with another dragon later. Arrows of many targets we definitely want. I guess I'll pick that up as well. Don't need these regular +1s. And I think that's it we need to sell here. Nope. Perfect.
Short father, bless you.
Okay, and while we're here, let's just clear out those couple of things that we definitely aren't going to need, that we don't need to be carrying around. We can get rid of our thief gear again. Where's the Surgeon Subjugation Amulet? And Strange Conduit Ring. We're going to keep the Tyrannical Jackboots on us, just in case. And we don't need the Fabricated Arbalest. All of the arrows go in here. All of my potions go in here. These will go to Will. And we don't need that. Okay, so now everybody should be back to being fairly normal here. Not going to go through this 100%, clear everything out. That's just a waste of time. We'll put those in the spell tome. Okay.
At least things have stayed interesting.
What do you need?
See if we can sell off that last thing that we transferred over, which was the Infernal Mace. No, he's not going to have enough for that. Okay.
Short father, bless you.
So now we are going to head back to camp. And while we're at it, we're just going to take a long rest. I know we just had one, but we utilized all of our spell slots for Divine Smites. So we're going to go get those back. And we're going to get a cutscene here as well, I believe.
Which makes him the inventor. How about...
Moving in.
So let's go talk to Karlach.
A letter from Orin. What does she want?
Hey, soldier.
Okay, so nothing new here from her, but she is recruitable again, and Orin did leave us another note. Okay, so she's really under the impression that we are working for her. So we need to go, she wants us to go to the Myrtle Tribunal here. And if we impress the Myrtle Tribunal, then we may find her deeper inside Baal's temple. That is where Gortash's hand is going to become useful. That's why it's marked as a quest item, is to be able to impress the Murder Tribunal. You don't have to do that. We are going to do that, though, for a couple of different reasons. But this is now giving us the next way that we have to go to deal with Orin. And that's going to give us a bunch of quest updates here, all of them revolving around Orin. And basically saying that we need to gain access to the Temple of Baal, and that is where the Murder Tribunal is, and where Lae'zel is currently at. And this is, she bid us bring his hand, proof of our slaughter, to the Murder Tribunal. Okay, and it gives us the password Sicarius, which I believe is a word in Spanish used for assassin. And then investigate the murders. This is again the continuation of the Valeria Gauntlet de Vela thing that we've been following up on, and it lets us go to Candle Hollow's tombstones. Okay, so I don't think, again, we're going to be able to get rid of this icon from Will, but I'll keep checking it and see if it goes away.
The agony of knowing the end is near. I spent years swatting away my fears and doubts of my infernal fate, and I eventually made my peace. I had to. You will too, Karlach. I know it. Until then, I'm here every step of the way.
Okay, so let's see if that removes... It does. So a little bit of bugged interactions there, just because of the way in which we did things. But it's because Karlach was in our party and his dialogue was kind of glitched out a little bit. It kind of got us to that point. So there's nothing else. Looks like Scratch wants to talk to us.
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in his mouth.
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
Well, rope, the most useful item in all of Dungeons & Dragons. Unfortunately, not very useful at all in this game. The very strange difference between video games and tabletop. Okay, so we're going to again go take our long rest. There isn't going to be anything else from any of our party members to speak about.
Better not be cursed.
And when we wake up, we're going to bring Shadowheart back to the party. I know you're all disappointed in me for not keeping Karlach. I get it. I don't have to be exact when I've got 5,000 camp supplies. Okay. His icon's back.
Let's talk.
Yep. So, I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen or not. I've been testing a few things, and it seems to be a little bit strange. I'm going to bring Karlach back in for a second.
Hey, soldier. You're back. Yeah. Despite my best efforts.
I kept trying to flop over and give up, but Karlach just won't let me. Did I miss anything important? Nothing out of the ordinary then. You know, soldier, we're so fucked. The Dark Three are trying to consume the Sword Coast. We've still got tadpoles in our eyes, and I've got a ticking time bomb in my chest. I'm not sure anyone has ever been more fucked than this. And yet, we're fine. In this moment, we're fine. Here I am. There you are. Breathing, talking, even laughing if we want. Is it very precious to say that despite it all, I'm happy? In that case, there's something I wanted to ask you. Will you stay with me when it's time for me to go? I think I can do anything if you're there. Even die. Thank you. Now, enough tragedy, I'm not gone yet, and our schedule is packed with important heroics, isn't it? Plus, if I cry any more, I'm gonna run out of tears and start leaking motor oil. Thanks for everything, soldier. I'm extremely glad to be in this thing together.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring her in.
Copper for your thoughts? Hell yes.
Just for a second. Go see if we can trigger another conversation with Will and see if it'll get rid of this.
Let's talk.
No.
Come on, let's go.
And this interaction is probably going to be I only speak to the party leader thing.
Let's talk.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to bring Shadowheart back in.
First in my heart.
Poor Karlach. Having to face her own mortality in such a definitive manner. Though the rest of us are still liable to perish, if it's any consolation. Your dance card is full. Lose a partner and they'll be... Lead the way then.
So I want to make sure that I re-equip those items that I put on Karlach. There's the boots, the gloves, the cape. This ring, and then I'm swapping that out. And that out. And as far as this stuff goes, okay, now there's probably some +1 items in here. Yes. We're going to keep one of these. The other one will go away. Shield +1, we'll keep another one of those here. I think these are just regular +1s, and the Infernal, yes they are. Okay, so now we'll put all of that in a trash bag. Make sure we've got everything here. And we're going to appear right back outside Danthalon's Dancing Axe, and we will go sell those things off. And I believe... Oh, it might have been in this one. Yes. We have a bunch of trash bags in here. I'll go sell all of that stuff off stream. Okay, so again, we're going to do our standard thing here. We're going to remove Shadowheart.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares.
This soul away.
I have a lot on my mind.
Bring Zenith out here.
In it.
And just in case, again, try and get everybody in range. That gets Karlach. Gets Kurz. But yeah, this is everybody.
My body.
Let's get going. I have a lot on my mind.
I wasn't expecting it. A bit crowded, don't you think? Wonderful. I was beginning to feel a little left out.
And I did forget one more thing that you definitely... Nope, I've got it here. I need to just put it back over to Shadowheart. Okay, so let's leave camp. And again, we're right here.
What do you need?
And we'll see how much of this we can sell. Wow. That stuff is just so valuable. See if we can get rid of one of these. We can. $81. See if there's anything else we want to pick up from him. We'll take the dragon slaying. The humanoid slaying is going to be very, very useful for that foreign fight that we were dealing with. The arrows of many targets. I think I've got enough smoke powder arrows that I don't need anymore. So 406. Perfect. Okay, so that got us a huge amount of gold. And again, you're going to be seeing that a lot once you get through the Worms Rock Fortress. If you decide to, if you're really desperately short on money, you can just go clear out all of the Flaming Fist in there, and you're going to get a massive amount of gold from all of the armor that they're wearing. So I'm going to head back into the Basilisk Gate, which is in the lower city, and we're going to head right back out because I want to check something. I don't want to just teleport right into Worms Rock using the waypoint. I'm anxious to see if the Flaming Fist are still hostile towards me or not. I'm assuming that they are, but I just want to check and see. I've never checked this in my playthrough, so...
Tyrant. Slain. Joy. Freedom. Close. Help me. Help you. Reciprocation. Watchers. Ignore you. Foundry. Neutralized. Witnesses. Eliminated. You walk free. You. One task. Kill Orin. Kill
So the Elder Brain definitely wants to be free,
Don't waste a step.
and it realizes that Orin is the last thing standing in its way. We're just going to head in here real quick and go check and see if the Flaming Fist are still hostile, and then we're going to head back to the Basilisk Gate. Because there's one more fight that we definitely want to get into.
The brain is breaking free.
Light on my feet.
Yes, they're still hostile in there, so I'm going to avoid Worm's Rock. Again, that's purely for role-playing purposes. No other particular reason. I just don't feel that they need to die. Okay, now we're going to go get into another fight here because I know y'all want to see that. We've had an action-packed episode here, but I know that y'all can't get enough of that. So we're going to, now that we've triggered the thing with Orin, we're going to go look into another location here.
If not over.
Okay, and we're going to head to the Elf Song Tavern. Before we go into this, we're going to buff everybody up here.
Never much time for lords myself, but from what I read, Gortash was a stand-up bloke.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
Looking ahead. One day I'll catch a break.
So let's head in here.
Lord Gortash is dead.
And we have skipped a few things here. When we came into the lower city, we did the Baldur's Mouth Gazette so that we could make sure that we changed that story. That was time sensitive. We went and talked to Damon. We went through the Stormshore Tabernacle, but we didn't do a whole lot else while we were here. We got our rooms at the Elf Song Tavern, but we didn't do anything else while we were here. And here, we want to visit the Emperor's Hideout. Now, remember, we learned about the basement when we talked to Chef Rovere and let him know that he was a murder target. He also let us know about the basement here. Whoops. Yeah, David, if you hadn't seen it, we first did that method
Mind my step.
when we went in with our Paladin live stream. And if you haven't gotten the achievement yet, then it's an easy way to get the Punch Drunk achievement by just having Shadowheart drink any alcoholic beverage and be drunk. Then cast Spirit Guardians, come down here, and when this triggers, it's an easy way to kill the 20 enemies while drunk. It's an easy way to finish that achievement by just letting them run at you. So once this happens, they're going to drop the Keepsake Ring, so don't forget to pick that up. The Keepsake Ring here allows you to dominate Beast. Not an incredible spell, however, there is a particular use for it a little bit later on, especially if you can pair that with Arcane Acuity. So if you can stack up Arcane Acuity and you can make Dominate Beast land, there is a particular encounter where it can just change the entire tenure of the fight. Again, Dominate Beast makes a beast fight alongside you. Every time the beast takes damage, it makes a wisdom saving throw against your domination, and it lasts for 10 turns. And like I say, there's a particular encounter where that can be incredibly useful. So, bunch of camp supplies over and around here. Things that you can loot down here. We're not too worried about it.
On the other side, you'll find a passageway, known only to those invited to do business.
Okay. Then, in here, there's a perception check for a button. And that's going to open up this back area. Now, the perception check is a DC 0. So you're only going to fail it with a nat 1. They want you to find it.
Seems simple enough. The psionic detector's been activated. There must be Gith hostiles nearby.
Okay, so that's a warning that the Gith psionic detector that we've been carrying has activated. So when we go in here, we're going to go in hidden.
Githyanki. Blackett has found us. Get rid of them, quickly.
Okay. And you can see that we do have Githyanki here. So the important people in this are actually the 2 gate masters. There's one on each side. We've seen the Gith portals before, and we know how they work. They keep spawning Githyanki every turn. So you want to make every effort you can to close those portals before the end of the turn. You don't want any reinforcements coming in here if you can avoid it. Now, we're going to play this a little special. We have 3 people who have the fly ability and 1 person that does not. So we want to make sure that Kurz has a clear path to get up here to either one of these sides once we've initiated combat. And I'm going to kind of split this group apart to be able to utilize this. But to start,
let's not get caught off guard.
I'm going to slowly move up here. I'm going to watch this detection cone, because the veteran's going to come and stand right up here and look out over this railing. And I want to see where that detection cone goes. Okay, yeah, see, it comes all the way out here. The main enemy here is the Chirai at this point, but we shouldn't have to worry about her, actually. So what I'm going to do is wait for this veteran to come back here and then move away, and I'm going to make my way up here and go into turn-based mode. Okay, so no, I'm not going to come back that way. I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, so again, I'm watching the veteran here. I'm going to get ready to go into turn-based mode. Here. Okay, and I'm going to start this off. I don't really care that much about a surprise round, but I'm going to see if I can get one.
Takes a fight.
Nope. Oh, I did get it. Okay. So I'm going to move in here, and this is even better because now I can cast darkness on top of everybody here. And again, my goal is to take out the Gate Master as soon as I can. So I'm going to
On my way.
move in here, and I'm going to drop darkness. Get rid of all the detection codes up here. I don't care about the hex going away. It was just to get me the surprise round.
Don't mind me. Light on my feet.
Okay, and now I should have a clear path to get Kurz up there. But I needed to get darkness down to remove all the detection cones up here. And do I still have... I need to put the... Oh no, I don't need the Eversight ring with her because of the helmet.
I should have worn better boots.
All of my gear is set up on everybody. Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to drop Kurz in here, and I'm going to try and take out the Gate Master. I'm also going to position Kurz near the Jorvalen, so hopefully if the veteran comes after me, or goes after her, I'll be able to get Sentinel and... or Sentinel to proc, and Polearm Master to proc as well. Okay, I'm not going to need to use a Divine Smite for this. That gets me into combat, though.
On the prowl.
Now, Will can fly. And that means he doesn't need to make his way around to all of this. And he can drop darkness up here. Okay, bring him into combat.
Work to do. Best step softly.
Now Shadowheart can fly as well. And actually, let's see if... Now, this will be okay. Let me check resistances. None? Okay, good. Okay. Interesting. Okay, took a minute to trigger. I was wondering what was wrong there. But that ended up killing the Gate Master outright. Now everybody's in combat. They've all got surprise rounds. And Will is going to just cook everybody here.
Making my move.
Do I have? I don't. Okay, so now we'll finish this Gate Master here. Oof. Big damage. Need to react on that. Move back a little bit. Okay, so he's outside of range, which is good. So now if he, on his turn, moves back into range, I'll get an opportunity attack out of it. Okay, so I'm going to Shriek. He's not going to do anything because ranged attacks cannot be shot into darkness, so he becomes completely irrelevant during this fight. Easy.
Battle favors the fearless.
Very possible he kills the veteran raider outright. Close.
Blood comes easy these days.
Not gonna react. Not going to react. Okay, so the Chirai is almost all by herself here. And I'm going to kind of move up here a little bit and see if I can get a ranged attack. I can. Get rid of her ready to parry. I think I'm gonna have enough movement to get there. Oh, I'm just short. Okay. That's unfortunate. Oh, with a 26 armor class, again, I'm not too incredibly worried about it. I can tell I just barely don't have enough. Let's see if I can get around the corner. Maybe. Actually, I wanted to keep her within range of Shriek. That was a misplay. Actually, I can dash here. I can do that. I don't need to attack here, I just need to get within range to add Shriek. No resistances. Okay, she's ready to parry, so let's remove that. Again, shoot all those arrows of many targets you want. Okay, and now Shadowheart can just move up and get Spirit Guardian range. And now that we're stacking up Reverberation,
no holding back.
Crit. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. Wow. Look at all of this. 24, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage riders here. Yeah. There is the crit base or crit build from Will in full effect right there. That was over 100 hit points with one attack from him.
Never a dull moment.
Now, as far as curves goes, not too worried about even bringing him into the fight. I'm just going to keep him safe over here in the darkness. I'm not going to be able to reach this combat since he can't fly, so I'm not too worried about it.
Is relentless. You handled it well. Let us hope she exhausts her forces soon.
So now we do have another group of people we can...
Conceals the way through. I'll reveal it to you.
Okay, there's another group of enemies that we can search here. There are a bunch of things you can pick up and read. Remember, this was the Knights of the Shield. This was their base of operations, so this is where the city was basically run from in the past. And there's a bunch of stuff that you can read in here that gives some really interesting lore about the previous city. Also, Neverwinter Nights, and that sort of stuff. So there is a bunch of stuff that you can read in here, but it's all lore-based. There's nothing that advances a quest or anything like that. Now on the Chirai, you're going to find the Boots of Psionic Movement. So when a Githyanki casts Fly, their next melee weapon attack deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. And this gives you a dexterity saving throw +1, but also Githborn Flying Boots. So once per long rest, you can bestow the ability to fly upon yourself. However, you don't have to use this fly here either. This fly works with any fly, including the power from the tadpole. So if you have convinced Lae'zel to do it, or you have shapeshifted into a Githyanki, you can take access of the additional 1d4 psychic damage by flying, and you will basically fly everywhere with it. Instead of moving anywhere, you will fly to get there, because that gives you the additional 1d4 psychic damage on your next hit. So very, very useful. Oh, and she's not in her party anymore, right? She's being held captive. Oil of Diminution, not really all that great.
Ever onward.
And then down here, you're going to have a few more things that you can pick up off the table if you'd like. There's also some other lore-based things that you can pick up down here. More camp supplies. There is a heavy chest down here, and some more lore things here on the table. There's some more camp supplies. Inroads by arms dealer Gortash. This is just, when you read it, it lets you know basically that the group here was aware that Gortash was trying to become more powerful in the city and the methods he was trying to do it. There's a silver key there that you want to pick up. Then here's a map. For Knight's use only, do not distribute. Buried behind the counting house. Path to Baldur's Gate near Upper City. Okay, so there are those you'll see once we leave here. What that means. And here's the H-hewn Mausoleum key. In our Paladin playthrough, we didn't come to this area yet because we haven't wanted to advance this section of the quest line. So we lockpicked our way into the H-hewn Mausoleum key. You don't need to. That key can be found down here. This is the one key that's missing that you're not able to find from the others, and it's because it's located down here. Now, up here, again, I don't think we need...
That's curious. That's
Yeah,
curious.
there's the perception check for the button, and again, I'm pretty sure that's a DC 0 for it.
My old home. Thank you for bringing me back. Look around. You'll find some of my things still intact, perhaps even useful to you.
And once you step up to some of these things, these different locations. Luke's Freezing Sphere. I've said that before. It's a great spell. You're going to get perception checks to alert them. All of those are, again, DC 0s. And you can interact with them.
A keepsake from my final voyage. Pinched in a moment of sentimentality.
And then once you're done, you can pick it up.
Something over there.
My old wardrobe. The home of all my disguises. We are what we appear to be. And so appearances matter.
And in here, you're going to find the Cerebral items. The Cerebral Citadel armor is heavy armor. You can't be frightened. You have disadvantage on stealth checks. However, if the wearer is infested by a Mind Flayer tadpole, they gain +1 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. That's the benefit for this. It is an 18 armor class heavy armor. There's no plus to it, so it is the base level. It's really not that great of a set of armor, but it is, again, interesting as being part of a set, and it has a very distinctive look to it when combined with the gloves. The gloves are just clothing, and you charm or frighten a creature to gain a 1d4 bonus on attack rolls and saving throws. So if you frighten or charm a creature, you gain bless, basically, as you go. And it gives you a +1 to strength saving throws. Now, where this can be somewhat useful is on your mortal reminder based damage dealers. So whether you're multi-classed into something where you've picked up mortal reminder on the warlock side of things, these gloves can give you an additional bonus to your attack rolls if you land a crit and frighten an enemy because of mortal reminder. So that is the real benefit to these. Will is using the gloves of dexterity right now, which is giving him a +1 bonus to his attack rolls anyway. So I think these are probably better off for him, just simply to get him higher in the initiative order and to keep his armor class higher, since he's entirely based on clothing and not armor. So these things aren't going to be incredibly useful for us in our playthrough. We had a perception check here.
My old sword. My first purchase as an adventurer. No use to me anymore. It's yours, if you want it.
And we can pick that up. That's going to advance the quest line and complete it. We claimed a valuable weapon from here. If you look at it, it is a longsword. This is the strength-based longsword, so the normal one that you're used to seeing. It's a +2 longsword. This weapon deals an additional 1d4 damage against shapeshifters or polymorphed creatures. Now this is, again, very useful in certain encounters. That's why this is a good place to come if you haven't, or if you haven't done certain things yet, where you're going to be fighting shapeshifters. We've fought shapeshifters already before. We're going to be fighting more of them when we deal with another encounter that we've seen in the Paladin playthrough. So fighting against those, this would give you an additional 1d4 damage against those enemies. It also has a +2 bonus saving throws against spells. So this is not a bad weapon to keep around. Again, it is the strength-based version of this.
No one stopped
So
me
if I'm looking at it compared to Falar Aluv, which I'm utilizing, remember, Falar Aluv is special. And it's a finesse weapon. It's a finesse longsword, which makes it different from from all but one other longsword in the game. This is using dexterity, not strength. And since we have dumped strength, basically, I'm going to have a +3 less chance to hit with this. Falar Aluv is +1, the Sword of the Emperor is +2, so now I'm down to a -2 to hit compared to Falar Aluv. I can, however, avoid that by drinking elixirs of Hill Giant Strength. So I'm actually going to keep this in my inventory for a fight that we're going to be having coming up, because it will give me bonus damage on every attack I make against certain types of enemies.
That might be worth a look. Better get to it.
My cutlery set. A gift from my mother. The butter knife is missing, but otherwise it looks to be complete. I don't need it anymore, but the memory stirs something in me still.
Okay, so if you want, you can pick up the butter fork. Nothing special about it.
There she is, in all her glory. Jubelin Stelmane, my old partner.
And you can take the portrait, and the portrait you can just sell off. But that's what Duke Stelmane looked like.
This way. That might be worth
The
it.
chains I used to bind my meals. Villains and lawbreakers. You see, I tried to exercise morality where I could.
Oh, I rolled a nat 1.
No time to rest.
That might be worth a look.
An old container for brains. Empty. Shame. It would have been nice to find one to sustain me now.
Something over there.
A recipe for fiddlehead soup. A favorite meal of mine. When I had need of meals like that.
Have to keep going.
I think that's it. You are going to be able to find some more spells, or some more scrolls. as you search around in here. There are some other things that you can loot as well. Nothing that's critically important. And then this door here leads you to a hatch, which leads you down into the sewers. We are not going to go down there yet. So we are now done inside of this hidden room, and we're going to head back to Basilisk Gate. And now we can start picking up with some of the things that we didn't do. So we've got 30 minutes left here, so we're going to go... We're just going to make our way around the back here first. Okay, so there are some things in here. You learn more about the tribunal. There was a meeting set up. I found you. Okay, so if we work our way in here, and I honestly can't remember if this is going to need this or not. Oh, I left it on.
Bet I can crack that open.
Oh, another nat 20.
This corpse has been desecrated, displayed, and there's nothing random about it.
Okay, if you come in here, you come upon a fairly grisly murder scene. Okay, and they've made an effigy of Balthazar. Orin the Red is doing this, and here you have another clown part. Part of the Find Dribbles the Clown quest. And we've now found his pelvis, his hand, his torso. So we found 3 out of the 7 parts. Yeah, use all the nat 20s up before Saturday. I'm hoping that I have some nat 1s to balance these out before Saturday. Okay, and we're going to make our way back around here. That advanced her quest. It's just the House of Grief. The House of Grief is actually not that far away. Well, it is from where we are. It's way back here, I believe. But that quest always updates when we get near this bridge here. Not entirely sure why.
The city is chock-a-block with bodies, thanks to these murders. I can barely keep up with all the orders.
Okay, so we're going to head to the cemetery here. Start off a couple of things, and we're going to first talk to the couple up here.
Something's on my mind.
I am not leaving until Lily has a goddamned coffin. I'm sorry, but our baby girl... Our baby...
Oh no, love. I know. If you're here for a burial, good luck. The carpenter around back claims there's a backlog. We asked for a child-sized coffin, but I said it'll take a month.
7 years of age. And murdered. What kind of monster hurts a little girl?
Shush, love. We're going to get Lily a coffin, all right? Give her the burial she deserves.
Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to put on the tyrannical jackboots. And then I have the Ring of Geniality put on. We can go interact with the metal pipe. Once you do, it turns the dirt mound to white.
I thought I was done for. Lady Luck, bless you. Sightseeing. What do you think? I filched the wrong baldy and got myself buried for the trouble. Stone Lord, he calls himself. More like stone shite. The very one. And my idiot self didn't realize till I was finger deep in his pockets. Won't be making that mistake again. Look, I ain't got much in the way of thanks, but the stiff below has some fancy doodads. You're welcome to them.
Okay, and then you can search the rosewood casket, and you can find the items that he was talking about. Nothing very special in particular, but certainly stuff that you can sell. We're going to go around the back, and we talked to the coffin maker previously. And he may be farther down here. Okay. I think I had this same trouble in my Paladin playthrough. Where does he disappear to?
Made one with the soil. Try not to focus on the how or when.
Of course, Mortark.
There he is. He appeared again.
The city is chock-a-block with bodies, thanks to these murders. I can barely keep up with all the orders. Then you'll be a long time standing. Now, you want to bump someone else to the back of the queue? Fine, but it'll cost you.
Okay, so I've got a persuasion option, and now you can see I've got a couple of additional persuasion things adding into it. And this is just one of those things that makes a bard a bard. We've got a DC 20 persuasion check here, and without anything else, even without guidance and without Mark of the Shifter, I have a plus 17 here. Now, because I'm talking about this, this is guaranteed to roll a 2 or a 1. And I roll a 19, so that's going to be a big number. That might have been able to be my first 40. I've never seen a 40 in my playthroughs. That might have been my first 40 if I would have added in Mark of the Shifter and guidance on that. So, actually a little sorry I took that one for granted. Because I would have loved to see a 40. I haven't seen one of those in any of my playthroughs yet.
I have lost a kid, and I gave him the best send-off I could.
Bloody hells. Fine. Tell them they can pick it up at sunset. Now, get out of my sight.
Okay, so now we'll head back, talk to that couple again. And we're going to end today with a fight. Because again, I know y'all like that.
I won't bury Lily without a coffin. I refuse.
No one's suggesting that. You've just got to figure this out.
You did. You hear that, honey?
Lily was our world. Knowing that she'll be able to be put to rest properly makes things easier. Thank you.
Okay, so we finished that up, and now before I start this fight, I'm going to make sure that my equipment is all set back to what it needs to be. So Killer Sweetheart, the Strange Conduit Ring. Wherever it is. Right there. Okay, and now all of that is set up. Baldur is fine for this fight. They're not going to be shape-shifted.
You're not allowed to play here. It's not
And for this, I'm going to break my group apart.
We must play here.
I'm going to take my paladin and put him kind of down here.
Part of the game.
You're going to be
Shadowheart
so much trouble.
going to be up here, and Will is going to be
The pride of the
with
game.
me here in the middle.
Let flowers say what words
And
matter.
I am going to go interact with the tombstone here.
Let's see what this does.
M. Kerwin. Treasured.
I know that name. It was in a courier's note. Something about settling matters with 9 fingers.
Okay, and that is very true. So I'm gonna wait and make sure I'm not being overlapped by detection cones here. By Pookums. Once Morbus turns and walks back down, Pookums will turn to follow and then have to worry about the patrolling Mortark here.
I don't need any attention right now.
Here! What's he doing? Get them sausage fingers off my crate! Yeah, well, no. I dug in, see? Looking for trinkets. Found them too. And I found them first, so you can find your own bleeding grave to rob.
Okay, now there are a couple of different ways to play this out. You can intimidate them and Bug Thimble will take off. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make an attack here. You learned about this tombstone all the way back in Act 1 at the Blighted Village. The note about M. Kerwin was in the letter bag of the man that Scratch was guarding. If you picked up and read those letters, which we did, that's where you learned about the M. Kerwin tombstone here. All the way back there by the Blighted Village, way back in Act 1. So it's kind of impressive that this all carries through that far.
Oh, yeah? Oh, got you good! I ain't doing this by myself.
Okay, so now what you get is the spawning of 6 kobold holes. And they're spaced around, one here, here, and here. And then down here, 1, 2, and 3 more. Now these are going to spawn more kobolds during their turn. Right? So Bug Thimble is here. We want to get rid of Bug Thimble as quick as we can, and Will is here. So Bug Thimble has 46 hit points. So let's throw Hex. And now let's just get rid of Bug Thimble for good. Oh, that missed one. Okay, well that's a
Still
shame.
breathing, despite everything.
So... Gonna have to be a big roll here. It was. Good. Okay, so now we can move my bard out here a little bit. And I'm gonna have Will cover this one and this one here. My paladin gonna cover these two. Shadowheart's gonna cover this one up here. Okay, so I'm gonna keep Will kind of centrally located around here to be able to deal damage wherever needed.
My faith will protect me.
Here, I'm going to up Spirit Guardians. Actually, yeah, this isn't gonna matter. I'm not gonna cause enough damage to that, but let's not start doing it. I don't want to kill the holes. I want them to keep spawning kobolds. She's going to go attack the holes, though, and try and close them. Okay, and as far as I go, I'm just going to move up next to this hole here. And if you stand on it, or you cover it up, you will give it the blocked Warrens trait. And that means things will not spawn out of it. So you can actually get Strange Beggar Morvis to have been standing on top of this one, and you won't get any kobolds to spawn during the entire time. So if you want the maximum to spawn, make sure you trigger it when he's not standing on top of that one. Okay, and there they went and spawned. Okay, I would prefer... So where's my slashing flourish ranged? This is 90% chance to hit. I'll take the attack of opportunity here. Do one there. One here.
Another day, another fight.
Ooh, nice. Wasn't expecting to be able to get both, but that worked out well. So Will can go after... Let's throw damage at both of these. So he's going to reapply Hex here. Looking to see who all's out here. So we'll throw... 1, 2. I don't think I'll need 2 there, but I'm going to be safe. A crit.
Need to stay focused. I know heading there.
Perfect. Now my paladin should be able to mop these up.
What do I have to lose?
Oh, critical miss. Let's see if I can get him with the clout. Outstanding. And then they will spawn a new group. They're rolling poorly on initiative. And that one stepped right into, or got hit with Spirit Guardians. So here we will, you need to watch out for the inventors. They're the ones that can be more dangerous. One shot.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
Perfect. Now Will can do that again. She stepped on it, so it's got blocked warrens. That's fine. Crit.
Can't give up. Not now.
Leave Shadowheart right there. Get off of that thing. Perfect. Okay. Still poor on initiative so far. Yep. Only one of them rolled better, and Shadowheart just keeps tearing up whatever comes up out of that hole. So, who do we have? A scout? Scout. Neither one or much to be worried about.
Try me.
Favors the fearless.
Okay, so let's concentrate on this one here. That's a regular one, that's a scout, that's an inventor, but my paladin is there. What did I click there? I just clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, so... yeah, that was a mistake. I must I misclicked something. I don't even know what happened there. I wasn't paying attention. I was going too fast. Probably completely my mistake. Okay, so he's trying to move away, so I'll take the opportunity attack. That will end him. They're rolling much better on initiative this time. So a kobold and an inventor. So I want to save my attacks for here. Okay, I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. Move in the middle. Use a slashing flourish ranged to hit them both. Hopefully kill this one. Oh, I rolled a critical miss. Okay, I should be able to do it again though. Perfect. And now I'll just move close to one of the spots.
No holding back.
Go for Will. There's an inventor there. So let's not mess this up this time. Make sure to get rid of him. And I rolled the crit on that one up there. So nice. Shadowheart doesn't have to move. She's just doing her thing. She's going to come in and probably kill this one. Hers doesn't have to do anything. Okay, so we only have 3 this time, so we're almost out.
No time for mercy.
Easy. And the last 2 are down here, probably. Yes, they are. I don't think I'm going to have enough movement to get down there. I won't, so I'm just gonna... Well, I guess I can use another bardic inspiration here. Question is going to be if I can get an angle on them both. I think I can do it there.
Path.
What's the plan?
Okay, so the only kobolds, there's one up there, so I'm going to move my paladin up here. Where's the other one at? Down here? Yeah.
Blood follows me everywhere.
Forever dauntless.
Easy. Light work. Okay. So you can search all of the kobolds. The Kobold inventors, like I say, are the ones you have to worry about. They have acid vials and alchemist fires. You do not want them throwing that
My faith
at
will
you.
guide me.
It really makes things more than
Keep sharp.
their fair share of annoying.
I'd better take a peek.
Bug Thimble has Kerwin's Cauterizer. This deals an additional 1d4 fire damage. So as a light finesse weapon that deals additional fire damage, it's actually really nice. It also has to succeed a Constitution saving throw where it starts burning, which again is damage over time for fire while ever it is burning. And it burns for 2 turns until you reapply it. So you can constantly get more damage out of this. Now, the other good thing that works with Kerwin's Cauterizer is, again, we've picked up items that proc upon burning or upon dealing fire damage. This is a great weapon for your stealth-based rogue builds that are also going to be doing heat damage. When you apply this with heat convergence, you could do a lot of additional fire damage and gain a lot of additional benefits out of it, especially if you're dual wielding, because then you can apply fire damage and burning with your main hand, and then your offhand, it doesn't matter what it is going to be gaining fire damage from the heat condition. So this is a weapon that I've seen a couple of different builds worked around, and it can actually be really, really nice. There's also the Kobold's chest key, which we'll be able to find out more about later. I'm just going to pick up the last of these Kobold stuff here, and we will call it a night. And if you ever can't get to one of them in that list, just release Alt, left Alt, and do it again, and it will pop up to the top. Most of the time, if you do them in order, you don't have to worry about it. And the last thing we're going to pick up is the Gorion Mausoleum Key. This is 2 out of the 3 Mausoleum Keys, or 2 out of the 4, I should say, that are available to us here that we're going to be utilizing as we continue going through the area here. So I'm going to drop a save, and we are going to come back to this area next week. As a reminder, the Honor Mode playthrough is on Saturday. Check the About tab on the channel for the current times when that is going to happen. And again, the Paladin live stream is going to be on Sunday. Again, the time's listed up there. So, as always, thank you all for being here. My community is always great. I love it. Thank you all for the interactions that I always get here. Because, as always, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.